I think that realism is so misunderstood in our society that most people choose to ignore it altogether and only see people as either optimists or pessimists. And if you are sad or, God forbid, depressed, it means that you are fucked up, that there is something wrong with you and you have to be fixed. And the thing that pisses me off the most is the attitude. If you manage to think critically, look at the world from a wider perspective and say, hey, look, the way we live is fucked up. It is stupid, outdated, and dysfunctional. Why do we still live this way? We can do better. We should work on fixing the problems in our global society before we breed and hope that our children will fix everything for themselves. Then people look at you with patronizing looks on their faces and say, oh, you poor thing, something really bad must have happened to you. Maybe your daddy beat you when you were a child, or your mommy did not love you enough. I know you're not going to tell me about this because it is too painful for you, but you have to let go. Don't dwell on the past. Enjoy the present. Be happy about all the things you have right now. Fuck you, I had a great childhood. And by the way, it has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. My childhood did not cause global problems, and talking about my childhood is not going to solve anything either. So please pay attention and stay on the topic. I'm talking about depressive reality that we live in right now, that we could easily improve and make less depressive if we only saw it for what it really is, without any delusions. Okay, now I see what your problem is. You did not find your place in the world yet. But don't worry, things will get better. Just think about what makes you happy and do that. And if you try hard enough, one day you will find a job that you're good at, a partner that loves you, and friends that you like hanging out with. Just stay on the path a little bit longer and everything will fall into place. What are you talking about? What makes you think that I don't have a loving partner, great friends, or a good job? And what does it have to do with the problems in our society? I'm saying that we as a society are powerful enough to make things better. We don't have to live with all the shit that happens in the world. We can change it. But for that to happen, first we have to accept that there is shit that needs to be changed. If we close ourselves in cozy bubbles between our friends, family, and hobbies and ignore the harsh reality that happens outside of these bubbles, we won't be able to do shit. And if you are so obsessed with your personal bubble and don't care about the world at large, think about what will happen when one day reality will affect your personal bubble in ways that you won't be able to ignore. When the next economical crisis will take your job away, when some war or even your own government will take your safety away, or climate change will block your access to food, why do you insist on ignoring these problems? What is wrong with accepting that there are fucked up things in this world that need fixing? Yeah, I understand that your life is not perfect, that you are worried about the future, but just think about how lucky you are. If you have food in your fridge, clothes on your back, a roof over your head, and a place to sleep, you are richer than 75% of the people in this world. If you have never experienced the danger of battle, the agony of imprisonment, torture, or starvation, you are luckier than 500 million people alive and suffering. Don't be such a pessimist. Enjoy what you have. Really? You want me to enjoy the fact that there are millions of poor, homeless, starving, and suffering people? Is that what makes you happy? The fact that people suffer even though we have the means to stop that? How? In what way is this a positive thing? Okay, you know what? You're just a lazy motherfucker who wants everything on a silver plate. And if you see that something is not as wonderful as you want it to be, you immediately start complaining about it and hope that everyone else will do everything for you. Why don't you grow a pair of balls and start fighting? Because that's life. You have to fight for things. So stop whining. Everything is not as bad as you say it is. Today's average person lives better than kings from the past, so actually you are delusional for thinking that the world is a shitty place, not me. Finally, you are right about something. Today, humanity is better off than it used to be. And do you know how we got here? Because people saw how shitty the world is and decided to do something about it, instead of convincing themselves how wonderful everything is. I'm a realist and I know that in today's global society I'm just a tiny piece of machinery that can't do shit on its own. However, we as a society are a very powerful force that can do almost anything we decide. But we are not going to do anything if we continue ignoring everything that makes us sad and only concentrate on the good things in our lives. And do you know why there are so many depressed people in this world? Because of people like you. You see, you don't have to be a pessimist to see that there's a lot of shit that happens in the world right now. And you don't have to be a pessimist to understand that one person cannot fix all of that. So naturally, you want to show everyone these problems, hoping that they will join you in making the world a better place. But when you notice that everyone you know walks around with their rose-colored glasses and refuse to think about any problems that might upset them, that makes you realize that you are alone. And since you know that you can't do shit on your own, you become depressed. Depression is not about pessimism or laziness, it is about hopelessness. Not all sad or depressed people are pessimists, so telling them about optimistic stuff is not going to help, because chances are that all that optimistic stuff made them depressed in the first place. There's nothing wrong with being optimistic, but we need realists in our society too, if we want it to function. So stop forcing optimistic attitude on everyone, because it is not healthy. Action plans uplift people more than happy pills, so instead of telling people that things are not as bad as they think they are, tell them, let's do this, let's make things better. And you will be surprised how many so-called pessimists will start telling their optimistic visions about how good our society could be if we manage to unite in moving forward, instead of getting comfortable with what we have right now and saying, meh, it's good enough for me right now, so fuck everyone who does not think the same way I do. It's their problem, not mine. They just need to adopt a more optimistic attitude and everything will be fine. And yeah, from time to time you will meet some cynics or hopelessly pessimistic people who need help with their negative attitude before they can do anything else. But more often than not, people have depressive thoughts not because they fail to see positive stuff, but because they feel alienated by everyone who thinks that it is more important to feel good than to do good. So if you want to cheer up sad people, ask them how would they improve the world if they had the power to do so, and join them in their cause. Or at least stop telling them that there is something wrong with them because they see a lot of bad shit that happens in the world and care about that. Not all sad people have to be medicated or cured in some other way. Sometimes they just need to know that waiting until we die is not the only thing we do in this life. Leave a comment below and tell me that I have to cheer up and be more optimistic, that the world is a wonderful place and we all are going to go to heaven and play video games with Jesus for the rest of eternity.